What's up, Outcast? It's Ezra, and in this video we're going to be doing another Ezra Talks, and this time it's going to be about Valve's new hardware lineup. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Steam controller, mostly because I don't have a whole lot to say about it. It has a weird design, but the weird design has use, so I don't have any real complaints about it, and it can be used with all the new hardware, which is the Steam machine and the Steam frame. That's the only new stuff, and it can also be used with the existing Steam Deck. It's also made to be used with games that don't typically use a controller or don't have a controller in mind with the game. Though the game that they showed, which was this card game, I don't know what it's called, but I've played it before on PS5 and you can use a controller with that. I guess maybe that was just like a bad choice on their part of using a game that doesn't typically use a controller, which maybe it doesn't, but it is on console, so that was a bit confusing. Probably should have chose, I don't know, anything else that doesn't really use a controller. Okay, so what I meant by this was they could have showed a game like Project Zomboid that doesn't typically use a controller in its control scheme. Okay, and the next thing I want to talk about, which is the Steam machine, which I think they could have thought of a much better name for this console computer, but we're going to be sticking with the Steam machine. They probably did that so that it all kind of intertwines, because everything is supposed to be connected in their ecosystem of devices, so it does make sense for the name, but I just think it could have been a little more interesting with that naming convention, like the Valve machine or something. They probably didn't name it that though, because that kind of reminds me of a doctor's office or something, you know, something to do with your heart, so that's probably why they didn't name it that. First time I looked up the Steam machine, which was like maybe an hour, maybe a little bit earlier after the video was uploaded, the first thing that I saw when I looked it up was a steamer, which is obviously a cleaning machine. So I was a bit confused and surprised that that was the first thing that came up, being that the internet is the internet, and usually something like this would blow up pretty fast. So yeah, a steamer. And then when I looked it up yesterday, looked it up the second time, and I found nothing but the Steam machine after that, the actual console computer thing. And then there also seems to be some type of customizability to this console hybrid computer. I don't really know what to call it. We're just going to call it the Steam machine for now on, because otherwise this video is going to be a little bit longer than it needs to be. They did show off a few different faceplates for it, and I did watch some other videos from IGN. They tried out the machine and asked questions about customizability, and sadly you cannot upgrade the hardware. It's more so made for people who strictly played on console before, I guess, in terms of design, not really for people who want to upgrade their computer constantly or consistently with whatever is new and more powerful. And also about the faceplates that they have, they said that they don't know if they're going to be selling them, but they will have 3D print files that you can download. You can print them out yourself, which honestly I think they should probably just sell them. Hello, it's Editing Ezra again, and I actually want to clarify that I don't want Valve to only sell them, but I want them to add the ability to also buy it from Valve for people who can't print it out or have the means to do that, because I don't own a 3D printer to be printing out no designs unless you can take it to like print shop or something. Otherwise I don't see how a lot of people are going to be able to customize their device. Another thing that I already mentioned, which is that it is a console PC hybrid, but it also seems to have some amount of portability because it's so small. It's like 6 inches, I think, all and wide, I guess. I don't know the specifics, but it says 6 inches on the website, so that's what we're going with. And then another thing, I was actually worried that it would not come with a Steam controller, which they actually did a really good thing where they made it a bundle, or you can just get the Steam machine by itself without the controller, which I think is a really good idea personally, because I would just definitely like, I hope they don't make me buy this controller separately, because that's a lot, I'm not gonna lie. So I already mentioned that it's not upgradable, but it does come with 2 different storage options like the Steam Deck does. We have the 512 gigabytes and then the 2 terabyte versions. I'm still a little worried about pricing on this, but we're going to talk about that more later in the video. In Valve's newest headset, which I don't think they ever made another headset. I could be wrong. I don't really follow technology, if I'm being honest. I just look at things that interest me, and like Velcro is trying to pull my hat. This, I wasn't sure if I was going to get at first, but after watching a few videos about it, seeing what it is exactly, I think I might actually get the Steam frame. Reason being is you can play 2D games on there, like regular games that are not VR games, so you don't strictly have to play VR games on there, which I think is really interesting. and I don't think any other headset does that. I could be wrong. I did have no Velcro straps please on here because no, I can't do it. It's gonna get stuck to my hair, and then that's just not gonna be fun at all. Their system seems to just be like a thing that you just put on your head, and there's like a battery in the back too, so it's like it's a battery. You can wear it and charge it, I guess, at the same time. So like if you're playing a game, you don't have to like put it down, let it charge. And yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting as well. With the Oculus, is that what I have? I don't know if I have it. I have a MetaQuest. Is that this? I think they're the same thing. I have a MetaQuest, and you can't charge that and play at the same time. I don't think. At least I've never tried that anyway. I don't really use it anymore. I'm not gonna lie, because last time I was playing it, I was playing Resident Evil 4. And I just kept getting dizzy and sick, and I felt ill, and I was like, I can't do this, so I don't really play it. Hopefully with the Steam frame, I don't have that too much. I might still have that, I'm not gonna lie. Live and you learn, you know what I mean? And then also apparently that the Steam frame is going to be very lightweight compared to other VR headsets, which when I was looking at it in the videos, it did look pretty light, pretty small. So I think this will also be good, because another reason I don't really play the Oculus, because it always weighs down right in front of my face and it like makes it hard to see sometimes. And then that also contributes to me feeling sick and my head hurting. It's just not a fun time when you can't have fun with something that you paid. I think this one was $300, I believe. I didn't pay for it though, I got it for Christmas. Now we're going to be in the questions section of this video. Would playing a game on the Steam frame affect whether or not you can play with other people on something like the Steam machine or just a regular PC or the Steam Deck? So basically, I mean, like say you're playing something like Stardew Valley, which is just a 2D game on the Steam frame, right? I'm going to say it probably won't, honestly. I just don't think that it will, but I did think it was a good question to ask because it is a different console, but maybe it'll still have that cross-platform situation like with PlayStation or Xbox or whatever, you know? So I don't think that'll be too much of an issue, though I don't think they have confirmed that anywhere. I also was worried that whether or not we were going to have the same thing we have with the Steam Deck, which is when it shows you on Steam how compatible a game is with each device, and it does seem to do that, which I think is great. So I guess sometime early 2026 we'll start getting those rolling out. I don't know how soon that's going to happen. I don't know all the information. This information is still very new at the moment. And then I also had a question for Steam Deck owners, which was, can you download games and apps aside from Steam games, from games that you would find on Steam? Because Steam machine is supposed to be like you can connect your Steam Deck to your Steam machine and play a game on there or something. Like you can stream it basically. Now I was wondering how that will work if you have something like a game from itch.io, which is a lot of indie games that I find and play on the channel. The point of the question is, how would that work exactly? Or does that work? Or can you only download Steam games on a Steam Deck? Because I just have a lot of questions about how that's going to affect the complete compatibility of the Steam machine and the Steam Deck if you were to like connect them, if that makes any sense. And then I also wanted to know if we were going to ever get another Valve Direct about this new Steam hardware, because I feel like we didn't really learn a whole lot. Valve's video about all their stuff, like sure we saw like the, what do you call them, like specs, I guess, but we never really saw anything in action except if you watch like the IGN videos. But even then, it wasn't like direct capture. They used like a camera and recorded it from there. So not sure why they made that choice, other than maybe OBS wasn't compatible or something. I don't know. Yeah, that was just a bit weird. Also, with the Steam machine being like kind of a portable console in a way, I was wondering if there would be any accessories like a bag or a case or something so you can carry it around if you want to go on vacation, you want to bring your Steam machine, you bring it with you. So yeah, that's all I really have about that. But really for any of the new hardware, I guess. And then also I had interesting question. It's not that interesting actually, I'm not gonna lie. But can other third-party controllers be used with the Steam machine? Or is it just gonna be the Steam controller? It's a very serious question. And same, and there goes the dog immediately. Alright, give me one sec, guys. Okay, as I was saying about the Steam frame and Steam machine's compatibility with third-party controllers, I'm not sure where I'm going with that. I wonder if they are going to be compatible with controllers outside of the Steam machine, because I don't know if the Steam Deck is. Anybody who has a Steam Deck, you can let me know in the comment section below. But if this is the case and you can use third-party controllers with Steam machine, the Steam family, basically. Okay, you can use third-party controllers that will definitely make it stand out compared to other consoles that we already have in this new generation. So you wouldn't even have to buy a Steam controller if you didn't want to, unless you needed mouse controls, obviously. But you can also use a keyboard and mouse because it is a computer, so that's why I'm kind of like, I'm sure that it will have that compatibility, at least the Steam machine will anyway, with third-party controllers, because it's not just a console, it's also a computer that you can do anything else with, because you can download other apps outside of Steam as well. I think this won't be an issue, but I'm also not completely sure how Valve is deciding to make these decisions. So I want to end out this video with everything that I'm getting. I'm probably just gonna get all three of them, I'm not gonna lie. I probably won't get the Steam frame right away though, only because I don't really play VR games and I don't really see a whole point in me getting that immediately, but I would get one eventually, you know what I mean? Then again, I said the same thing about the Steam Deck and I still don't have one, but I don't think I really need one with the new Steam frame coming out. Not Steam frame, the freaking Steam machine. It's coming great timing. Also, another thing, actually, what about the pricing? They have not released pricing for this yet, and it comes out early next year. Now, what early means, I don't know, but it's probably around, what, Q1 is like January, the first months of the year. I don't know how they separate these things in businesses, but first half of the year is when it's supposed to be released. And there goes the dog again. Okay, and I'll also like to mention that Valve did say that their pricing would be competitive compared to other consoles on the market. And yes, I'm wearing the headset again because I forgot where I left it. Also, I did go online to look to see what people thought the price might be around, and the speculation seems to be around the $600 mark. So somewhere around, how much is a PS5? It's like 500. I looked it up and PS5 was around, I think it said 500. I don't really remember actually, but I tried. Okay, and then the new one, which is the Pro, is like 700 or more. I think it's like a little more than $700, and so they're saying that it might be in between those two. I will also link that Reddit thread down below. These are just speculations. We don't actually know the prices of the consoles yet, or any of the hardware for that matter. Controller cannot cost that much though, right? It can't be that expensive. It's a controller. That is the end of my Ezra talks about Steam hardware. Yeah, let me know your opinions down in the comment section below, and if you like the video, make sure you leave a like. It'd be greatly appreciated. Peace out. I'll see you guys in the next video.